What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brett from BPX Garage, and today we are in the garage with the V4, and this is going to be the first video of kind of, I guess, the build series of the Ducati V4. We're just going to do a couple of small modifications today, nothing too crazy, but it is the first upgrades that we're doing to this bone stock Ducati V4. We are going to take off the rear fender, that awful fender, and we're going to put on the V4 Evo forged carbon blank plate. Give us a nice sleek look in the back, clean it up a little bit. We're also going to install an ultralight lithium battery by Anti-Gravity. We're going to put this on the scale as well. We're going to see how much this weighs, and then we're going to weigh the factory OEM battery that comes out of the Ducati. So we're going to see if we can have any weight savings there. Might be a little bit, we'll see. I'm not sure exactly what battery comes on the V4 Ducati, but we're about to find out. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to take a look and see what direction we want to go with the mirrors. I've never been a real fan of the mirrors aesthetically, but I've got two options. I do have the Rizoma block-off plates for the mirrors. I've also got the Rizoma Stealth mirrors. So we're going to kind of see which option I like better. On this particular bike, I've always actually loved the Rizoma mirrors on this motorcycle. I've got both, so we're going to kind of just go from there and see. So anyway, let's get set up in the back so we can start on this fender and get to putting in some new mods on the V4. All right, guys, so we're set up here on the back. We've got the camera all set up. A little dark back here, so hopefully we can see well, but this is actually a very simple modification. And if you've watched any sort of YouTube videos on this, there's tons of videos out there, so I'm not really going to dive into that too much, but there's a couple of bolts here. You just pull those out. There's a tab that goes up inside here. So once you pull these two bolts out, this just kind of slides down, and then there's a clip that goes to your blinkers, and that's pretty much it. So I'm going to go ahead, get this pulled off, and then we're going to take a look because I'm doing this for the first time, never touched it before, so we may run into some snags, we may just run right through it. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me grab my tools and we will get the bolts pulled off of here and get this ugly thing off this bike. Voila, we have our new block-off plate. Let's get a better look at that. So very simple to do, probably one of the easiest fender eliminators that I have ever done on any bike. And it looks clean. It's very simple. There's not a whole lot to it. But it does get rid of that tail, and we got a forged carbon. That may be an indicator of the direction that we may be going with this bike. You'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, let's move on to the next modification, the battery. So the battery on this bike is a little bit different. Let's jump up front and we will get started on that and get the camera set up for the battery install. The battery is located here underneath this tank cover. So we've got 4 bolts here. I believe that's all we have to do. We're gonna find out, but we just need to remove these 4 bolts and the battery should be right here. We should be able to swap it out. There she is. There is the battery. So we've got our battery here. Let me grab my Phillips head screwdriver and we will take that baby off. And now we've freed our battery terminals. Now, let's see if this battery just comes right out. Ooh, gravy. And I can tell you there's gonna be a decent amount of weight savings right here. Wow. Jeez, this thing is actually pretty dang heavy in comparison to the lithium. So real quick, let's jump over to the scale over on the workbench and let's take a look and see just how much weight savings we've got here. All right, so we got the scale. Should be focused up here on our meter. You should be able to see that, I believe. So right now it's showing 0 ounces and we got pounds to the left. Just for a test real quick. We got our foam cannon up there. That's reading 1 pound 4 ounces. Let's weigh these batteries. So first things first, let's go ahead and weigh the OEM stock battery. Sheesh. So that's reading 5 pounds 8 ounces. 5 pounds 8 ounces. Now, anti-gravity. Oh, wow. So we went from 5 pounds and 8 ounces to 1 pound 9 ounces. So essentially we just shaved off 4 pounds. That is wild. That's pretty impressive just from a battery. So 4 pounds of weight savings just from a battery. That's pretty awesome. So once again, 1.9 5.8. Oh, make sure we're focused. 5.8 on the OEM battery. 1.9 on the anti-gravity lithium battery. Since we were at the weigh station, let's go ahead and weigh the fender that we took off of the bike. That's kind of what we're gonna do for this build series is I'm actually just gonna weigh all the parts that we take off the bike. I'm gonna get a dry erase whiteboard and we're gonna use that in each video and we're just gonna leave the weight reduction numbers up on the board and we're gonna kind of tally up just how much weight savings we've got here. So the battery we saved roughly 4 pounds on the battery. So we'll go ahead and weigh this. This is probably at least a pound, maybe. Okay, so yeah, that's 1 pound, 14 ounces right there. So we are roughly sitting at 5 pounds, 14 ounces in weight savings just from the battery as well as the fender right here. So we'll continue to tally up those numbers and anything, if I end up changing the rear tail to another piece, we'll weigh that as well and kind of go from there. I'll also weigh the mirrors. We'll weigh the factory mirrors against the Rizoma Stealth mirrors. So we'll actually, weigh the difference there. There shouldn't be any weight. we should have a little bit of a weight savings with the Rizoma stealth mirrors versus the factory mirrors. Probably not much, but I doubt we're gonna gain anything. So we will see. So like I said, we'll put all of that info up on the whiteboard when I'm gonna buy a dry erase, and we'll stick this up here somewhere. We'll put it over on the side of the cabinet, and we'll keep a tally of that. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump back over here, finish up the battery, and move on to our next point of action. All right, we're all set back up, and we're gonna get this battery installed. Okay, so what we did there is we took a step bit. This will focus. We took a step bit, and basically we just made these holes just a hair bigger on each side so that the bolt will just fit in there nice and smooth and snug still. And then we just vacuumed out the little shards of metal. So now we can get back to it, and we can install our battery. All right, we've got our new battery installed. Simple as that. Screws were long enough. We had no problems with fitment. We just had to modify the terminals just a hair with our step bit, and now we've got it all set up. The step bit was kind of necessary. That's the best way that I know how to take care of a little problem like that. If you guys have a better suggestion, please feel free, leave it in the comments. I'm always open to learning some new ideas. So I by no means know all, but that has seemed to work for me in the past, and those step bits do come in handy. All right, and as I'm putting that on, one thing I should have done before I put that cover on was verify that we did have power. We do have power, dash and everything's coming on, lights are on, so we should be all good there. I'm not seeing any warning on the dash, so it looks like we're all good there. No issues. I'm not gonna start the bike right now. We're kind of in an enclosed garage, so, but looks like all is well in regards to the 4 pounds of weight savings and a brand new lithium battery. Awesome. All right, so next we're gonna take a look at the mirrors. That should be a fairly simple process. I'm not too sure. There's 2 bolts on either side that you can get to from under there. So we're going to take a look at that and see if we want to do the Rizoma wing stealth mirrors or we want to go with the block off plate. Okay, so let's go ahead and knock out this left side real quick. I'm actually just gonna knock that one out. Same process as this side. So I'm just gonna knock that out and then we'll come back and take a look at it. Hold on one second. All right, and we are back. We got both block off plates installed. Pretty simple install. 2 bolts, slap this back on. Very simple, not hard at all. So we just basically knocked out the mirrors, the battery, and the fender eliminator in like no time at all. So that was pretty cool. Let me show you guys kind of the underside of this real quick. In fact, I'm gonna do it on this side where we got a little bit more room, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so right here is what I was saying. This little plastic piece will come off right here when you undo those 2 bolts, and then this piece comes down. You put your new stuff on, slap it in, put your bolts back in. It's pretty simple. Was not very difficult at all. Everything seems pretty solid and secure. So yeah. All right, so that's it for today's install. That was very simple. That was the first modification of the Ducati V4. Yeah, that went pretty well. We knocked out the block-off plates for the mirrors. We knocked out a brand new battery. We got the new lithium battery, and we found out that we saved 4 pounds overall, and then we knocked out the fender eliminator. So that was pretty cool. Was not hard. I really appreciate you guys joining me for the very first modifications of the Ducati in this build series. As we go on, these new build items and installations and stuff are gonna get a little bit more in depth, a little bit more fun. I know this one is just kind of but we're gonna document the whole process. I'm gonna take you all along on the way, and we're just gonna have fun making content, and most importantly, we're gonna have fun with this build. So anyway, hope I didn't leave anything out. I'll catch you on the next video. Peace. Yeah, what that was fucking no. Yeah. Now, mirrors went back on. Yeah. We're keeping the mirrors on. At least for the time being. The way that those Rizoma block-off plates look, the silver, I don't know. There's just something about it. I was not digging it. I think you guys might have felt the same way. But we're going to figure out what's wrong with the Rizoma mirrors and what's wrong with the fitment. Maybe they sent me the wrong part. I don't know what's going on there, but the block-off plates were not it for the current aesthetic. Maybe later on down the road. Not what's happening. Don't